Hey guys, so for today's video I have some pieces from the ColourPop Lunar New Year collection. These are all Year of the Ox because that is the new year that is beginning. I think it's in February, if I remember, like February 12th. So I have one of the eyeshadow palettes, the Lippestix, and the highlighter from the collection. And then I also have the Clinique Cheek Pop Year of the Ox highlighter. So I thought I might do one on one cheek and one on the other. I am an ox, so you know, I've picked up some pieces that I might not otherwise collect. My husband is actually the Year of the Rat, which is the year that is ending now. I picked up some of the pieces from last year's ColourPop collection. I think they had two of the Super Shock blushes in a little kit. The collection this year is a little bit bigger than it was last year. And I didn't get the Cheek Pop highlighter from last year. From what I understand, the shade is the same. So if you did collect last year's highlighter, you might not need to get this year's unless you just want to get it for the collector value. But anyway, we'll be trying that out as well. There's a lot of general Lunar New Year collections coming out, but I've really only picked up, I think, the Clinique and the ColourPop items because if they're not specific to the Year of the Ox, they just don't call to me as much. I think BH Cosmetics has also done an Ox palette, but that one, the color story and the packaging just didn't draw me in. But I thought ColourPop did a really great job with theirs. Okay, so let's talk about what I picked up. So I got the Lucky Ox eyeshadow palette. They had two different eyeshadow palettes. This one and I think it was Get That Coin. And I just like this one slightly better, and I liked that it was called Ox. They also have the Lunar Has It, which I don't know if that's supposed to be like Rumor Has It, but I thought it was a really cute package. It says 2021 down there underneath. And yeah, I just think it's really cute. And they have this kind of like transparent embossing on it, which is a nice touch. So as you may have seen, there's no mirror or anything in the palettes, but these are basically magnetic palettes. So if you wanted to, you could remove these shades and put your own shades in, which I think is kind of a nice concept. If they had just sold the palettes individually without the shadows inside, I might have done that. I forget exactly how much these were, but you know, it's ColourPop, so it's not too bad. And I like that it has the 2021 there as well. So I thought this one just had, I think, a more unique range of shades that I maybe didn't have in my collection, like this red I think I might try. I have my red top and my red headband on in honor of the occasion. So excited to play with that. And then I did get the highlighter, although I wasn't sure if it might be too dark for me. Again, very cute packaging. This is the Lantern Fest highlighter. And they call this a Super Shock highlighter, but it is in a compact. It's not like the little pots that they've put out. I don't know if this design is specific to this collection, but it's a little compact with a snap closure. And there's plastic. And then this one does have a mirror, and then that is the shade there. All right, and then the last item I got were the 3 Lippestix. So this is the Light My Firecracker Trio, which is really cute. So the shades are called Red Pocket, Lion Dance, and Lucky Charm. So I will be using one of these. They're all different shades of red. And again, they have kind of, I guess, firework type designs on this kind of cream off-white packaging. I think I would have only gotten one of these. They do sell them individually, I believe. But it is a cute little, you know, package, and Light My Firecracker is a cute name for the set. But I think I needed to get over whatever the free shipping was. So I decided I might as well just get that. And then to show you quickly the Clinique Cheek Pop highlighter. This is in Gold Celebration Pop. Again, has very cute red and gold packaging. I'm hopeful that if I use this, I won't completely destroy the embossing. Last I checked, this is still in stock at Sephora. So it has a very cute, like clear outer packaging, but then there's this like red, I guess, inner plastic. So I like that they did that, just to give you a close-up look at it. Some people have said that it looks like the cow, is it Mubi from Dogma, like the mascot for the fast food chain or whatever in that movie, which, you know, may be the case, but I think it's still cute. One thing I do like about the ColourPop products is that you don't have to worry about messing up any kind of pretty embossing, so they're just kind of, you know, normal pressed pans. I did look up the ColourPop Year of the Rat collection that I have, and those pans do have kind of unique packaging, so I didn't want to use those and mess those up. So I already have my base applied. I tried to stick with ColourPop as much as I could. So there are some products I've used for the first time that I hadn't tried yet. One is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Illuminator in Soft Ivory. So I purchased this a while ago and hadn't tried it yet. Just a couple of quick things about this. It does have, I think, a fairly strong coconut smell to it. So if you don't enjoy that, it says coconut water on the side as well as hyaluronic acid. So if you don't like that, it may not be the product for you. And then I also wanted to show you, I guess, the finish. So that is the color. And what kind of surprised me, I don't know if this is going to show up, but so I don't think it's going to show up on my hand, but after I applied it and I guess it dried down a little bit, like if you get really up close and personal with a mirror, it does kind of give you like the Twilight Edward Cullen look. So I don't know if I'll prefer this product over like the Glossier Feature Dew. It does seem to kind of set down. So it's not a bad product, I just don't know if it's going to become a staple in my routine. All right, so I used that, and then I also used the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. I'm getting actually close to the end of this bottle, so I've been kind of venturing out into some other base products just to, you know, not use this up right away. And I do think I prefer this a little bit more in the summer. Even though it's supposed to be hydrating foundation, I find that it's just not as forgiving on winter skin as some other products I've tried recently, so it was interesting to use that product again. And then I also used the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer, which I hadn't tried before. I had 3 shades here. The foundation, by the way, that I used was Fair 20N. So underneath my eyes, I have kind of a mix of Fair 10N, mostly towards the inner corner of my eye. And then I also applied some Fair 20N. So I wasn't sure if the concealers were going to be kind of the exact same shade as the foundation, in which case I might want a slightly lighter shade, or if they were going to already be a little bit lighter. So I think after I applied 10N, I was like, okay, that's definitely very brightening. So I went in with 20N after that. So yeah, so that was it in a nutshell. I have some of the Patrick Ta Shiso LA blush, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer in the shade 2, Benefit Gimme Brow. I have the Jason Wu eye primer on, and I did go over that with some setting powder. I also have some of the Fenty contour stick on. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I'll try and link everything down below that I have on. Okay, so let's go into the eyeshadow palette. So I have the eyeshadow palette, the highlighters, and the lips. Okay, so this does not have a mirror, which is just going to be a little bit more challenging to apply. Okay, so first I'm gonna go in with the matte cream shade all over, just to give a little bit of a baseline. If I weren't filming, I probably would have gone straight in with this after applying the eye primer, just to, you know, try and help prevent creasing, but because there's that interval between applying the primer and the eyeshadow. I like to do what I can to make application a little bit easier. All right, so this is my MAC 286 brush, and I think I'm gonna go into this warm light brown and just start building up the crease. Kind of more of a transition shade. I guess we can zoom you guys in a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to take a rougher pencil brush. That's not it. This is the number 23 brush, which is the smaller one. I don't have a strong preference between this one and the larger one, the number 3. It's kind of really whatever I find first. Okay, I was debating whether to go in with a darker shade or just to go right into the red. I think I'm just going to try the red. Stepping outside my comfort zone a little bit, but I feel like, you know, this palette is asking me to use it, so. It's not quite as bright on the eye as I thought it was going to be. So I don't know if it's because I put that other brown down first, but it is reading a little bit more kind of brown, like a really warm terracotta type brown rather than like true red. Okay, it actually came out better than I thought it would. I think I want to try that center shade, the more like antique gold, and I have a feeling this is not going to work well with a brush. Oh, not bad actually. All right, and then going into the very bright yellowy gold. See how this looks on the eye. Okay, I think the brighter shade could probably benefit with a finger application. So, yeah. And just kind of tapping over the middle to blend. So part of me is saying this is a really bad idea, but I think I want to try taking some of the red on the lower lash line. So going back in with the number 23 brush again. Hopefully this won't make my eyes look red. Might have to put put liner on my waterline, which I don't normally do. All right, I'm gonna take some of that bronze on the same effort and kind of dab off some of the excess. I feel like ColourPop could have done liners with this collection. It would have been very complementary to everything else. All right, so I think, which brush do I want to use? I think I want to darken up the outer corner just a tad, so I'm gonna go in with this black sparkly shade. Super pigmented, really. Okay, and then just to blend that out a little bit, I'm going to use this Spectrum B07 brush and going back into the cream shade that we laid down. Just kind of lightly going over that. I don't want to lose too much of the shape. Just soften it up a little bit. So looking at the monitor, I get a little confused which eye I'm looking at. So I think this eye, the black, just needs to be blended out a little bit. I think that's better. Okay, so I think that's it for the eyes. I'm going to apply liner and mascara, and I'll be right back. All right, before we do the highlighter and the lips, I went ahead and did some arm swatches, and I also looked up the shadows on the ColourPop website. So from left to right, this is from the top left-hand corner and then going across left to right, and then the first row, the second row, and the third row. So the first shade is Full Exposé, which they call a matte creamy vanilla. The next shade is called Pink Slip, which they call a matte soft beigey taupe. The last shade in that first row is called Fuzzy, and they call it a metallic true red copper. The second row, the first shade is Get Cracking, which is a matte sparkle cool brown with silver flecks. The middle shade of the middle row is Prefix, which is a metallic antique bronze. And the red shade there is Spoiled, which they call a matte brick red. So for the last row, we have Cruisin', which is a metallic pale yellow gold. The next one is Culotta, which is a matte cool taupe brown. And the last shade there is The Feels, which is a matte deep black with silver sparkle. And I went over some of these a couple times, partly just to make sure that I had enough product, and just due to the nature of my arm that the swatch was long enough so it would all show up in one. I have to say I was pretty impressed with the way these swatched. The first shade was more pigmented and actually shows up on my skin tone, and all the metallics and everything feel really nice and smooth as well. So with ColourPop eyeshadows, there have been some palettes they've put out recently where I just wasn't amazed by it. Like, I know a lot of people like the Going Coconuts palette, which didn't really stand out to me. I also purchased the Stone Cold Fox palette, which I didn't find that amazing either. So if ColourPop wants to continue putting out products at the rate it is, or has anyway, I think I would almost prefer them to use shades they've spent a little bit more time developing, and then maybe kind of mix and match and put them into these magnetic palettes where they have the cute design on the cover and everything, but they're not unique shades to the palette necessarily. I don't know if that makes sense, but overall I think I'm more impressed with the palette than I expected to be. I think when I bought it I was kind of like, oh well, I'll film a video with it and then I'll probably just put it away and not really reach for it. If there are some shades that you really love and then some that you're not so crazy about, you can just keep the ones you want and then swap in other shadows, be they from ColourPop or some other brand. So I kind of like this idea, actually. When I saw it, I was kind of surprised because, you know, there are palettes where you can remove the pan, but usually they have like the cardboard and everything in between the shades, and then they have the shade names and all that. I don't know. I kind of like it. Okay, so I have my mascara and liner on, and I think we have highlighter next. So, using my trusty Anastasia A23 brush, I think I'm going to use the ColourPop highlighter first. So I will go ahead and swatch that. It feels very creamy, and it does, I guess it looks gold in the pan, but it's a little peachy, and actually it's a little hard to pick up. It feels almost like a cream, which I thought this was like a powder. Hold on. Should investigate. Okay, so they say fingertip application will provide the highest amount of coverage, and for a more sheer look, we suggest using a flat synthetic cheek/foundation brush or a duo fiber brush. A flat synthetic brush will give more coverage, and the duo fiber brush will give a more airbrushed effect. Okay, so I guess I'll use my finger. So I was a little surprised, I guess, because I thought that they didn't do Super Shock formulas in like a compact. So it's definitely making an impact. It doesn't look, I don't think it looks too dark. And I think because it is like a cream formula, it would be easy to apply this to the eyes. Some highlighters lend themselves more to that than others. That's kind of the highlighter sheared out there. Okay. All right, let's see if the Anastasia brush works for the Clinique. I'm just gonna do like a more straight up swatch. I'll do it on my arm here. So that is the ColourPop. All right, so let's try to not ruin this. So this is definitely more gold. The other one is more peachy. So this one is definitely gold, the Clinique one. You can build it up. It's a different formula. It's a different like application method. Which one do you guys prefer? I think I need a bigger mirror is what I need. It doesn't look too bad after I've put my brush into it. I think the ColourPop is maybe just a bit more flattering on my skin tone. I think both are really pretty though. And it kind of just depends how bold you like your highlighter. Okay, so that was it for the highlighter. Next, let's choose one of these Lippestix. So there's a bright red, which might work best with kind of what I'm wearing, and then I guess a medium red and a dark red. I haven't used these in a while. I think they maybe have a faint scent. The Just a Tint products I'm not crazy about because I don't like the way they smell. All right, so those are the 3 shades, and I think normally I would go for maybe one of the 2 darker ones, but I'm gonna try Red Pocket. I think I will use a lip liner. This is the Wet n Wild Gel Lip Liner in Red the Scene. Yeah, my lips aren't in the best shape right now, but you know what? Let's do, okay, so just so you get the actual lip color, I might take this off anyway, just because I think with the eyes it's looking a little bright. All right, I guess I'll go ahead and go in with the darker shade, which is Lucky Charm. I think that's a little better. Still a little kind of matte and dry for my taste. So I think I'm gonna go with, I got some Pat McGrath lip glosses. There was a set, I think, of 3 red ones. So I think these all came in a set. There is Carnal Desire, just sparkly, Blood 2, which just seems to be a cream, and then this one seems metallic. This is Celestial Ruby. I think I'm gonna go in with this one. Okay, I think that looks good. So that's it for the finished look. On the whole, I think if you like ColourPop's formulas and these different products, I think they're pretty solid colors. If I had to recommend anything, I would probably recommend the eyeshadow palette because I think it's really good packaging. The colors are a really nice little curated set, and I think the formula and everything is really great on these. The highlighter is nice, so if you like that formula, go for it. And the Lippestix are a really cute little set too, so if you like that formula, go for it as well. So let me know down below if you are picking anything up from this collection, if you like the look that I came up with. So I hope you guys are all having a great new year, whether it be the Western 2021 New Year or the Lunar New Year coming up in February. So please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you guys are staying very safe and healthy, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.